your little entertainment thing. Right. Or you follow the lead of the black street, the people. That's us. You take orders from us. You follow our lead. You don't get to tell us what to do. You don't get to tell us when to turn down.
I'll be in and help you in a little bit.
You sit on the sidelines with your lifestyles. You don't have to feel any of this pain.
All right.
And see,
Shalom, family.
When you have black celebrities that are funded by white corp.
Okay. So my eye is constantly leaking. I guess I must have something got my eye. I don't know what it is, but if you see this eye leaking, that's what it is. My allergies. I remember as a little girl, my mommy used to have to give me eye drops as a baby, so it is what it is. I try to keep my surfaces like dust free and all that kind of stuff. But here we are again, family. I know I'm a little late from the time I said I was gonna come back on. But here we are again, and I wanted to I'll share with you all Psalms 46. My mother gave it to me this rising. So it blessed me so much because I said, hey, Mom, check out Job 5. And then Abba gave her Psalms 46. So I said, let's go there because family and I shared that as well with each other. So I thought it was wonderful if we could just go ahead and break bread on that. I had a bookmark for it? I did. Awesome. Okay, so again, let's go into prayer because y'all know we got to let Abba take full. Yes, it is leaking. Let Abba let me get some tissue. Abba take full control and, cover this gathering or this stream or whatever you want to call it. It's been loading up a lot of turmeric for this inflammation because I don't know what got my eye inflamed. Anywho, all praises, honor, and glory to the Most High. In the name of your Son, Yeshua, we thank you and glorify you on this day. Thanking you, Father, for the wonderful time that we had yesterday and today. And we're just so grateful, Father, that we'll continue in the midst of all this turmoil, continue to have wonderful Shabbats and restful Shabbats as you have instructed us, commanded us to have. So we thank you, Father. We pray over right now the nation of our people, that you will continue to keep us in perfect shalom, those who keep their mind stayed on you. And for those who are running from you, Father, that if it's your will, you will bring them back to you so that you can be glorified through their repentance. And I pray that you will take over this stream, protect the family members and households of all of your children, cover us, even those who are out there trying to be a voice of righteousness by trying to protect and watch out, look out for our people. Father, we just pray that you keep your hand upon them, even those that are not of our nation who are seeing the injustice and are standing up. We ask that you will continue to put the spirit upon their hearts to vindicate and stand up for us and to be frontline soldiers, just as well as your sons and daughters who are frontline soldiers in their wars. And we understand that all is in your hand, and no weapon formed against us shall prosper. In the mighty name of Yeshua, so be it. All right. I'm not going to lie to you, family. After the day I seen that brother's video, I feel like I've been having a constant... Charisma! Zebby snitching on you. You playing Mortal Kombat? All right.
Yes, you are. You're playing Mortal Kombat.
Okay, I'll be up there in a little bit, Zebby. Thank you. All right, so we're gonna be reading Psalms 46. If my eye gets too out of hand, I'm gonna just go ahead. Family. And just try to upload this later because I'm tired of stuff holding me back because I had so much against me yesterday. I'm not taking it no more. To the chief musician for the songs of Korah, a song upon Alamoth. Okay, Ishiohim is our refuge and our strength. Okay, and strength, a very present help in trouble. Therefore, will we not fear? Let's go back. It says, Ishiohim is our refuge and strength. Okay. A very present help in trouble. I feel like when I see that part, it says Ishiohim is our refuge. It's something that when you're reading, a reader's reading this, you can read that, and it can, every time you reread it, it can help boost your faith to realize that Abba is our faith. Because a lot of our oppressors will say, well, where is your Savior now? Does he care about you now? Look at you. He can't stop this, but he is our refuge. He is the refuge, not our governors, our mayors, police departments, and jurisdictions. I don't understand why we as a people really expect anything moral to come out of them. Not to mention the 3 other officers were arrested, but yet it took all this for them to get just the one. You didn't see all that going on down there in Georgia with Ahmaud because they got the officers arrested. But the opposite of Georgia, which was Minneapolis, we're seeing is outcry because they're not being righteous. They're not giving judgment. And even when they did arrest those 2 characters, we're not going to hold our, like, that's the all in all. Okay. Therefore, we will not fear, though the earth be removed, and though the mountains be carried into the midst of the sea, though the waters thereof roar and be troubled, though the mountains shake with the swelling thereof. Selah. There is a river, the streams whereof shall make glad the city of Ishiohim, the holy place of the tabernacles of the Most High. When it says there is a river, I feel like it's a living, like not a river, but I don't want to say what I feel, and it's best to have precepts to back it up. But sometimes when I'm reading, there's just a wonderful revelations that I will give, and it's hard to. I pray, Abba, you give me the revelation to explain that you are that river. There is a river, the streams whereof shall make glad the city of Ishiohim. There is a river, right? But the Nile River was something that the Egyptians worshipped. Maybe they knew there was some history to that river, or not. Regardless of the fact, they understood that river replenished of Egypt. It went like throughout Egypt. But it says that there is a river, the streams whereof shall make glad the city of Ishiohim. So this river is going to nourish the city of the Most High. Physically, and there is a river that is spiritual. Anything tying to water, you darn right believe it got to be the Mashiach. I get so upset when I be scheming through things, doing my own personal studies. I find things and I don't specifically write them down. And then now I come on live and it's like it flashes before my mind, but I can't quite remember where he is that river. I can just slow down and really, really think. There's a river. What's that scripture? Was it Job? There's a scripture saying about I don't like this. The river, there is a river, the streams whereof shall make glad the city of Ishiohim, the holy place of the tabernacles of the Most High. Well, from what we're reading here, I want to find that precept. I don't care if I come back on 12 o'clock tonight. I'm come back on her with that precept of the river being the Mashiach, which is the word. We know, remember, like you even use John 4, but I'm tired of using the same ones because I see a new one. Ooh, I think it was in my Apocrypha. Now it just dawned on me. Thank you, Abba, because I was reading my Apocrypha yesterday. Yep. Got one in the shed, and I know I got a backup one in here. Pardon me. Please tell me, is there a Apocrypha in there? All right. So I want to look really quick in the Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1. Chapter 1. Okay, find it. Okay, I'll just start with verse 1. Because I was reading this yesterday, actually. Love righteousness, ye that be judges of the earth. Think of the Most High with a good heart, and with a simplicity of heart seek him. For he will be found of them that tempt him not, and showeth himself unto such as do not distrust him. When I see that he will be found of them that don't tempt him, the temptations of these nations are trying to provoke our Father to make us move in war without our might. Now, we have our might, but the might that they're expecting is something that they want to be for the eyes. They want to shoot us in the street so that we can do the same unto them. So the Most High said he will, be seen of them that tempt him not. He'll show himself unto them. So they're going to, those that he showeth his salvation, because remember, it says Psalms 100 or Psalms. There's a scripture that says, then he showeth this. I'm not going to talk. I'm just going to go to it. So I was just reading. He's showing himself to those that will tempt him not. Okay. The Most High, Psalms 100. Let's see if I can find it again. Psalms 100. Know ye that Ahayat, he is Ishiohim. He is a husbandman, right? So know him like that. When I say know ye not, or know him in this way. Know ye that Ahayat is. Know ye that Ahayat is, he is an Ishiohim. He is the husbandman. It is he that hath made us, and not we ourselves. We are his people and the sheep of his pasture. And enter into, it's not there. It's not there. But I remember reading that it says, when I in the scripture, what was that? Psalms 43 or Isaiah 43? But then I was learn of your judgments. It could even be in Psalms 119. Not quite sure, but I want to just do a better job at giving you guys reference, because it's for your notes' sake, even for myself. Goodness. So unfortunately, I'm dealing with eye pain. I want to try to not make this too long. All right. For he will be found of them that tempt him not. So they're not using their own indignation and will to get justice. Waiting on the Most High. They that wait on the Most High shall renew their strength. Those who are not waiting, they're going off of their own strength. And Abba have mercy, because my heart really ties out to my brothers and sisters, because that they're out here, protesting. They're doing what our emotions are feeling. They're pulling out what we feel. Now, they're not out there murdering people. Yeah, they can destroy some buildings and stuff like that. And the stealing is not to be approved of anybody who's keeping Torah. Like I said, the first eluders were American, the people, the colonizers who came here. They came here, took land that wasn't theirs, and now here's the harvest. Okay. For he will be, verse 3 of Wisdom of Solomon, which is found in your Apocrypha. If you have one, if you don't, you can get one. I got mine from Amazon, and you can get them from other bookstores as well. For forward thoughts separate from the Most High and his power, but it is tried, reproveth the unwise. If your thoughts are not from the Most High and they're really forward and they come when you get tried, it's going to show whether you were wise or not. When the Most High brings these type of things on the earth to our these other nations and our wicked of our people, it's also for us to see where we are. For into a malicious soul wisdom will not enter nor dwell in the body that is subject unto sin. For into a malicious soul wisdom shall not enter nor dwell in the body that is subject to sin. For the Holy Spirit of discipline will flee deceit. and remove from thoughts that are without understanding, and will not abide when unrighteousness cometh in. For wisdom is a loving spirit, and will not accord a blasphemy. Okay, what was I trying to read when I got to that verse? Psalms 46. I was trying to find that thing about the river. I have to find it. Unfortunately, I'm dealing with a leaky eye, irritating allergies. All right, let's just okay. Psalms 46 again, verse 2. Oh no, verse was on verse 3. Though the waters thereof roar and be troubled, though the mountains shake with the swelling thereof, Selah. There is a river, the streams whereof shall make glad the city of Ishiohim, the holy place of the tabernacles of the Most High. So when I'm saying there is a river, the reason why I'm so stuck on that part is because it's like, you think about it, how can you put it in his words? When I'm seeing the river here, I'm not seeing it just words as what it's showing me. I'm seeing the spiritual revelation behind it. Because remember it says that the dragon was raw in Revelations, and then like a water, it came after the us, like it swallowed us up. So that water is like it's open. Give me that scripture, because I'm not gonna be going off my dome like this. And I really want to help you guys understand what I was revealing unto me. There's just so much. It's like when I'm on this water part, I'm getting an issue. You know, my eyes are watering. Let me see. The dragon. Let's see. It's a dragon. The water. Water. Revelation. Then if I had my pink Bible, it'd be really spot on for me, because I'm so familiar with that the KJV one, to the point where I know, like, even if I don't remember stuff, I can't explain it. I'm familiar with that sword. Okay, all praises. Revelations 12:15. Revelations 12:15. And the serpent cast out of his mouth water as a flood after the woman, that he might cause her to be carried away by the flood. So we understand here this water is talking about, it's the flood here is being described as doctrines or religions. This is what the dragon brought after us. He opened his mouth and it said, out of his mouth, it came out like a flood. So the gospel, the doctrines came from the mouth of the serpent, the same serpent that went to Eve in the garden, to convince her to take hold of something, forbidden wisdom and knowledge that she should not have been taking part of. So since I couldn't find the other one, all praises to the Father leading me with the understanding to Revelations 12:15 to explain to you, to prove to you that water is referring to the Mashiach, by proving to you over here, Revelation 12:15, that water as a flood came out of his mouth. So if the water came out of the serpent's mouth, you could assume that it's got to be that bitter water. That bitter water was in the wilderness. But the Mashiach is like that sweet water, that water that is everlasting, that you thirst no more. Whew. All right. It ain't easy handling this, handling the sword sometimes, especially when you're trying to be a person to, edify, help people, because spirits come after you. Spirits try to cause your mind to go blank. Spirits try to disturb the flow of what you're doing. I mean, it's so much out here. And this eye is really rocking my nerves. Shalom, Brother O'Keefe. Oh, I'm going to need you to text me too, because those links you gave me, I tried to erase somebody else's number, but yours got erased by accident, brother. So I need all those links that you was trying to help me so I can learn how to do, better, YouTubing, which would really be wonderful. I really appreciate it if you could do that. Okay. So now we're going to finish on reading in Psalms 46. in verse 5. And this is also proof to you, like when they say the woman, speaking of, the Most High's people. Ishiohim is in the midst of her. She shall not be moved. Ishiohim shall help her. And that right early. Okay. And Apocrypha will tell you that the bride, the people are like, it's his bride. Okay, it's his that's the her that the Most High is referring to. And say, where you get that her from? How you know that that's talking about the Most High's people? Okay. Boy, I was going in yesterday. I don't know where I was at. What's going on? Reading stuff. Just all right. Well, whenever you see in the scriptures, like I say, referring to, like we're reading here, Ishiohim is in the midst of her. To keep in context with the scripture you're reading, it's talking about Jerusalem at this particular time. Because it says that there's a river and streams where shall make glad the city. Make glad the city. We are Jerusalem, the people of his tabernacle. He no longer dwells in the tabernacles built with man's hands. And there's no particular place that he said his name there right now, because, well, there is a particular place he said his name at. Yep, there is. Not to stand corrected on that. Although there is a particular landmark I will declare to want to be his, we're called by his name. We're like his city, okay? And so you keep that in mind. He said he's going to be in the midst of us. So when you're reading with the context of Psalms 46, knowing, understanding about this famines, he's our refuge, these things, you have to keep in mind that it's telling you he's in the midst of us. So for other nations who are tired of their wicked oppressors, like the Egyptians got tired of Pharaoh, if you want to cling to righteousness and you want to be safe and sound in these days, you come to where his people are, because he's in the midst of his people, the righteous of his people. All right. It says, and okay, Ishiohim shall help her, and that right early. All right, so he's gonna help his people. I don't have another like translation, like a good one that could give me like the Hebrew understanding of what some things. I know once I get into that, I'll really be better with my studying. So the heathen raged, the kingdoms were moved. He uttered his voice, the earth melted. Ahiah of hosts is with us. The Ishiohim of Jacob is our refuge. Selah. Come, behold the works of Ahiah, what desolations he hath made in the earth. He maketh wars to cease unto the end of the earth. He breaketh the bow and cutteth the spear in sunder. He burneth the chariot and the fire. Be still, oh my brothers and sisters all over the earth right now. Be still and know that Ahiah is our husband. He says that I am Ishiohim. I will be exalted among the heathen. I will be exalted in the earth. Right now, our Father is not being exalted. It is paganism being exalted. It is his hatred. It is wickedness. It's unrighteousness being exalted. And because of those who are clinging to those powers, they're being exalted. He's talking about helping her, and he said, I'll be exalted. It's like you hearing a husband and a wife basically saying, I'm going to get my vindication, and we're going to be all right. We're going to get our kingdom back. This is why if the Most High calls his people his bride, that there's no reason for any other, people to think that they're going to replace us. He called us his bride. Okay. Shalom, Brother Mike. Haven't seen you in a while. Welcome. All right. We're in Psalms 46. All right. Verse 7. Ahiah of hosts is with us. The Ishiohim of Jacob is our refuge. Selah. So who is our refuge, family? The Most High Creator. He is our refuge. And but not only is he our refuge, but he's a refuge of our people. So if other people who are tired, like I said, Tired of these other deities and these other ways of life, and I'm starting to even see conservatives come out. They may not be having signs or say stuff, but although the back of their heads are to me, Abba gives me the scoop on where their heads at. And he lets me know a lot of them are coming out because they have to honestly think, well, honestly, even if we don't agree with Black people, if a cop could do something like that, why should I ever be in fear to comply and respect and honor you guys anymore? Because you've already proven to us that you don't even stand to your own standards. So it's just a way of you treating us like slaves. That's all that is, because a master will tell a slave to do something he didn't have to do. That's like pharisaical, binding burdens on people that they will not carry themselves. Shalom, Sister Operation Mommy. And I pray you all had a wonderful Shabbat as well, even though the devil tried to mess up my stream and everything like that. I wanted to enjoy the nice Shabbat and the nice sunshine, share some word with you all. That's okay. I'm not worried about it. I'm not going to let nothing get me down. That's what we do. We're staying up. Verse 8. Come, behold the works of Ahiah, what desolations he hath made in the earth. So start looking around. Start looking at Sodom and Gomorrah. You know what's quite amazing? What community's been very quiet? I haven't even so much as seen any of them from my eyes in the crowd. And that's the LGBTQ community. They are so peaceful. No one's bothering them. No one's vexing them. It's a sad shame when we're living in a time when a people are harassed and a sick community are at ease. Not even homosexual Black brothers came. I'm sure some probably did, but I ain't really see no vibrant, seasoned ones out there. Stop shooting our men down. And if I did, it wouldn't really matter to me. The point is this: that community don't have to worry about nothing. In this kingdom, they don't. But they're going to get theirs. He maketh wars to cease unto the end of the earth. He breaketh the bow. He cutteth the spear in sunder. He burneth the chariot in the fire. It says he. So if that's to keep on alliterating, he does these things, he does all these things. If he causes a spirit to be upon somebody to bring it forth, don't look at them. It's Abba doing that. Or if Abba does it in the earth, it's Abba. Don't try to blame Mother Nature or any other creation. It's the Father. And I want to really quick quote our brother George. I'm going to say Gerald. George Floyd. I'm getting ready to quote, read one of his last statements. He said, please, but as he was leaving this earth, he said, please, I can't breathe. Move all these stupid distractions. I can't breathe. He said, my stomach hurts. My neck hurts. Everything hurts. They're going to kill me. They're going to kill me. George Floyd. The Mashiach said, if they hate me, they're going to hate you. And so I understand if this brother is saying here before he was not able to, when he was on that stretcher, he wasn't saying no more saying, I'm hurting. Or can I have some water? It was when he was on that cement, that cold ground, that stone, that cement, which was like you got the only thing between you is about knee and stone. And between those two, there was no space that man could give that man for an opportunity to have life. So in Abba's eyes, there's no opportunity for that demon to ever think that he could ever get the kingdom. There is no opportunity because you know why? For you got to be an evil person to know someone is going through. The man defecated. He peed himself on the grounds. He probably had a bowel movement. And as he probably was having those bowel movements, it wasn't his control. It probably made him more evil. If you could do something like that and someone's crying out to you, I can't breathe and I need help, and you can continue to do that, Man, if I was that type of creature, I wouldn't want to be myself. It'd be better off that he wasn't born. And the other 3 officers as well. But it says in this word that he is our refuge. And since his little silly girlfriend calling herself Beyonce, I'm gonna have respect for that, brother. I don't know if he loved her, so be it. However, don't know her name, but the girlfriend who's saying he wouldn't have wanted to be remembered like this and stop doing all this and you're right. No, he wouldn't have wanted thievery to be attached to his voice being spoken, because his blood crying out, there was no blood shed. However, the blood's still on y'all hands, because the Most High is requiring that his blood of y'all. That man was killed. I don't care how they want to shape it or try to cut it and be fancy. They're gonna have to give an account for that. And unfortunately, all of the land we're living on right now is cursed. It's all cursed. When my family and I were reading Job, we realized he said, as soon as they walk into the land, for your sakes I cursed it. Who was that, Job 5? Or I think it was Job 5 or something else I was looking at. He said, as soon as they went into that habitation, I cursed it for your sake. I was like, soon, see, I was like, yeah, there may be some things that look like they have the upper hand. But guess what? What people got, the Most High said he gonna have the animals obey us. In Job 5, he gonna make a legion with, not legion, he's gonna make a league between us and the animals, that they will respect us, and that the rocks will not, even crumble upon us, or even the rocks will provide us what we need, or whatever. There was something I kept hearing when someone was saying something about Chief Cornerstone in regards to the police officer or the precinct or something like that, Chief Cornerstone. And it put me in the mind to understand. It said, also, their Chief Cornerstone, or something like that, really is against us. It calls us as a less of a human being. I can't really quite get off my top of my brain, but I just was certain things I was hearing. I was like, isn't that interesting? How much they are copiers, how much the devil is a copycatter of what our Father has for us. The Mashiach is our chief cornerstone. You know what I'm saying? I can't really, I'm not bringing it all to you all. Forgive me for not being always accurate, presenting everything to you all. But it's just when something comes to my head, even if I don't know it, I'll still explain it, because I don't know, maybe somebody might bear witness with you. Somebody could share something to help me. It is very heartbreaking, sis. It is very heartbreaking. It was beautiful. Love your video. Oh, thank you, sis. Hallelujah. I'm grateful y'all got to see it. All praises. So y'all got to get the video. All praises to the Father for that. And I thank him that my eye is not as leaking as bad as it was. But yeah, praise the Father for that. All right, check this out. We're going to go back to Psalms 46. I can see Psalms 46, verse, I think it's 10. Yeah, I read that, but I want to read it again. I'm going to write down for you, or put in the chat, Psalm 46. Okay. And also Job 5. I believe, I spelled it. And also Job 5, because those were the two Abba gave me this rising to just keep our mind on him. Because I saw this whole thing from the beginning. Y'all know I was saying, I said, they trying to provoke us. They're trying to provoke us to come to their level and be like, man, nanny, boo-boo. Like, we're on the side of the fence, and they keep on throwing stuff over us. But Job 5 said, we shall have peace. He said, he shall visit our habitation and shall not sin. So in other words, that we shall have nothing that's going to hold us away from our Father, because sin keeps us from our Father, so that these devils can do this stuff to us. So be still, verse 10 of Psalms 46. Be still and know that I am Elohim. He said, be still. That's that Psalms 23. He lead me by beside the still water. He restoreth my soul. Our souls need to be restored and replenished. They didn't just take from us as a people. They took from our souls, family. Okay. He said, I will be exalted among the heathen. and I will be exalted in the earth. They won't be singing no more Santa Claus, and they won't be having no more 4th of July's and pow pow fireworks, and they won't be having Thanksgiving little dinners and all this nonsense and birthday parties and all that. The only thing that's going to be exalted in the earth is the Most High. And that is going to be so refreshing. Just think about that, family. Like, you mean to tell me we don't have to listen to no more stupid Christmas carols and see that nonsense all around? Yes, that's right. That's what was Most High's telling us. Thank you, Father. That is a blessing. You can see from now, we in spring. We ain't even hit summer. Do it look like they going to have a normal winter on Wonderland? Nope. Do it look like they going to be having a regular 4th of July? Nope. Is it like they're going to continue to keep begging you to be a part of their fallen kingdom? Vote for what? My brother Selah, his channel is called Selah Yahuwah. He put up a video the other day. He was talking about how he did some scrambling on the word coronavirus. I ain't saying nothing else no more. You're going to have to check that video out because that brother put some real stuff on there. Check it out. That's what I'm going to tell you. On the brother Selah Yahuwah's channel. Verse 11 in Psalms 46. A high of hosts is with us. A high of hosts is with us. Did it say a higher host is going to be with us, or are they on their way? It says a higher of hosts is with us. The Elohim of Jacob is our refuge. It's always been our refuge, and it's going to always be our refuge. And our refuge is always and forever and everlasting. Okay. Now I'm going to read some of my property. Now we're going to go to for Wisdom of Solomon. All right. Because we don't need to just expose what we're seeing them doing. As we expose what we see them doing, what they're doing, we need to continue to nourish ourselves. We're living. You're not going to stop us from living. You're not going to stop us from eating and getting this word. You're not going to stop us from dwelling in his shalom. You're not going to stop us. And what you do to our people, we're going to cry, we're going to fight, we're going to get irritated, and we're going to go in the prayer closet. And if you run up on our person, if I would say stand, I'm going to stand. If I would say defend, I'm going to defend. Whatever my Abba tell me to do, I'm going to do. All right, so we're going to Wisdom of Solomon. We're going to read chapter 2. Okay, I'm starting to read in chapter 1. So I might as well just go ahead and go back to, we did. I did a video where I read all at once. So I'm going to do chapter 2 now of Wisdom of Solomon. Again, in the Apocrypha. If you don't have one of these, you can actually get one at your local bookstore. And again, hope you are still trying to do the best you can to get this book so that you can get the information that's provided in the back, which is exposing to all pagan terms. All right. For the ungodly said, reasoning with themselves, but not aright, our life is short and tedious, and in the death of a man there is no remedy. Neither was there any man known to have returned from the grave. Now, notice it says the ungodly say. All right. For we are born at all adventure, and we shall be hereafter as though we had never been. For the breath in our nostrils is as smoke, and a little spark in the moving of our heart. So the unrighteous see life a lot different from how the righteous see life. The ungodly, should I say. The ungodly. It's not their fault. It's just if they're ungodly, it means either they're not taught, they're unaware, or they just don't know. They're asleep. Or they choose not to. But because if you've been a person, you've been a Christian all your life, and your parents have always raised you to have a spiritual, closeness with the Father, then even reading this, you can thank the Father and how your mind don't even go like that. You say, Father, I thank you that I don't have an ungodly mindset. I thank you, Father, that you have revealed unto me the mysteries of that my life and how important it is. A person's life should not be deserving of justice if they're not here due to injustice, but their life should be worthy of justice while they're on this earth. And that brother was just another brother with another Caucasian woman above the earth, that had some good where he was like an old head, a familiar person in the community, things of the such. But when he was a victim to this demon, he became a person that we all can consider. His last few words was on his video, the children of these days, and I can't breathe, and this hurt and that hurt. They're gonna kill me. He gave his voice, he gave his speech at that moment, exposing the ungodly in their plan, so that when court came, you can hear him say, they're going to kill me, which means even he believed his death was due to this man's neck on his leg, on his neck, knee on his neck. It wasn't due to no other complications. So we all see the video, but the ungodly see what from the video? And the people of that video, whether godly or not, they have a view. When it comes here, the view of the ungodly on the earth and the view of the godly on the earth. Do you know that there's some people on this earth that really believe that if I don't get my best life in this life, there is nothing for me? So they're going to make sure they do everything they can to keep that best life. That officer that killed him, he's thinking, okay, if I could just get around this, get around that. He's like, okay, I'm there. Eventually, I can get through this. They'll be wrapped up in some kind of coronavirus, something pandemic. It won't be far worse than they'll be worried about me. But this ungodly man doesn't consider, and the other three are not considering that they're going to meet the judge. They're not going to meet him up in some sky. He's coming down here to meet you. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. And those other officers who were hiding. Scripture's already said in Esdras that you will not be able to hide. You won't. Okay. Which verse 3 of Wisdom of Solomon, which being extinguished, our body shall be turned into ashes, and our spirit shall vanish as the soft air. Do spirits vanish? Yes, beloved.
Are you all right, babe?
Yeah.
I heard you getting a little rowdy up in here. What's up?
Oh no, I'm fine.
You all right?
Yeah, sometimes I get up.
You got some problems?
No, beloved. Just my eye. It's not as bad as it was, though.
No,
it smells good up in there.
Yeah, I did. Friday
did your thing?
I did my thing.
Mm-hmm. It's all done? It's in the oven?
Yep.
I'm so excited. I can't wait. I didn't really eat nothing just so I could eat that. Thank you, babe. Love you so much.
Love you too.
All right. So, no, our spirits do not vanish. So they really, their whole understanding on things is off. And our name shall be forgotten in time. And no man shall have our works in remembrance. And our life shall pass away as the trace of a cloud, and it shall be dispersed as a mist that is driven away with the beams of the sun and overcome with the heat thereof. For our time is very short. And they're absolutely right. The ungodly, yes, you will be vanished. Yes, you will not be remembered. Yes, and a yes. Your spirit will not be able to vanish away. Your spirit's going to vanish, be continually vanishing in torment. But this is their understanding, fam, of the ungodly. Okay. Where's for you? That's right. I know. And you know what, beloved? Brother O'Keefe White, you was saying note for my husband, like when somebody's bothering him, he's like, no problems. Because I let him know I got brothers and sisters that's here that's willing to defend and help. We stuck up for each other. I'm trying to find my chapstick. Oh my. Okay, verse 5. For our time is a very shadow that passeth. They said our time. Notice it says our time is a very shadow that passeth away. And after our end, there is no returning. Turning, for it is fast sealed, so that no man cometh again. Check that out, family. For our time is a very shadow. All right, let's go over here to Psalms 23 really quick. I'm going to show you about a shadow real quick. Is it Psalms 23? pastures. Okay, verse 4 of Psalms 23. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, the valley of a shadow of death. Okay. So the valley of shadow of death. We're walking through, okay, we're not really walking through valleys. Okay. We're walking on earth and we're living amongst shadows of death. Abba says shadow to let you understand the threat is really not a threat. Because David said, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. He said, my father's with me. Thy rod and thy staff comfort me. Not Republicans and Democrats. Democrats and Republicans comfort me. No, thy rod and thy staff shall comfort me. A person speaking like this must proclaim to be obviously of the fold and proclaiming it the Most High he said he is my shepherd. A person can't say all these things if he ain't your shepherd. You're not going to be walking through the valley of shadow of death fearless if he's not your shepherd. There are men right now who are in panic mode. Jeremiah 30, with their hands in their loin, like as though they're in birth, crying. Cries, all forms of emotions, because a lot of our brothers they're not able to digest this. And then we got sisters being more irate and acting emotionally out of control. And then we got those who are representing well that we're going to mention. Male and female. Right? So when we look over here, Wisdom of Solomon, for our time is a very shadow. Notice it says the ungodly. So who is the ungodly? It's definitely the heathen. It's definitely the wicked. Their time is a shadow that passes. A shadow of what? A shadow of death. So their time, they have death shadowing over them. That is going to eventually become of them. And we're walking amongst their death shadow like it's nothing. Not afraid. Fearing no evil. Because the Most High is with us. Okay, sit, bro. Okay. All praise, all response. And after our end, there is no returning, for it is fast sealed. You got that right. You ain't returning. It's basically, in other words, once you see death, you ain't coming back. You ain't coming back. You're going to have to meet the judge. It's appointed for man to die once. Then is the judgment. But the Mashiach was not just a man. Okay. And he did raise. He did resurrect. Verse 6, come on, therefore, let us enjoy the good things that are present, and let us speedily use the creatures like as in the youth. Now, who is this talking, family? The ungodly. Well, since this is our portion, since the only life I can live my best life right now, I can't be great, so they want me to be great, so I'm finna be great. And this is how they finna be great. Saying, let us crown ourselves with rosebuds before they be withered. Who did that? I think that was a Greek fashion. Let none of us go without his part of our voluptuous. Let's not go out as part of voluptuous. So let us not go out without being voluptuous. Let us make sure we go out, we doing it big. Every time you go out, you got to go out. Because remember, for the ungodly, this is all our portion. This is the way they think. This is my business. I've been here for such and such and such and such years. But 2nd Esdras 16 says that those that buy be as though that you never had nothing, and those that sell as though that you never had a profit. Like those that build houses, you won't dwell therein. Even 2nd Esdras said we don't give a John Brown about your stupid buildings or anything in this kingdom. None of it's coming with us to the kingdom. None of it. It's all going to be destroyed. It's all going to be destroyed, family. Verse 9. Let us not go without his part of the voluptuousness. Let us leave tokens of our joyfulness in every place. For this is our portion, and our lot is this. The ungodly. So if you're living like there's things in this realm that you can't let go of and you're going to fight for, whether blood or whatever, oppress people for, or whatever the case may be, or fight against those who will fought you to get what they got, so you fight to get back what they got, which is cursed. This is your life then. Verse 10, talking about, let us oppress the poor righteous man. No, not just a poor man, but a righteous man. Notice that brother, when he was in his life messed up, they say he was in Houston, and things was going, he was in and out of police department, in and out with law. He never ended up dead within those encounters, but when he tried to get his life right and moved to Minneapolis, and he was talking, so the Most High knows his heart. The Most High knew what he was going through. He wasn't perfect. He could have been a perfect man. He wasn't the Mashiach, but he knows within himself, and Abba knows within himself where he wrestled. And he was, you know what I mean? If he simply believed in the Most High, loved his brothers and sisters, that alone made him righteous. But being with that woman, that I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be rude, but being with that Caucasian lady, I wasn't too fond of. That secretly tells a story to your family. Like, I'm just gonna keep it real. Like, if you a brother that end up with a white woman, somebody in your family done made you mad. I know somebody that said she made her son not only get with white women, but become atheists because of her. And I'm like, how wicked could you be to make your son become atheist and want white woman? I remember we're in Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, and we're now at verse 10. Yeah, we're going to finish up with verse 10. Let us oppress the poor righteous man. Let us not spare the widow, nor reverence the ancient gray hairs of the age. So what ungodly people are doing this to? It says, the ungodly say, let us do all this stuff to the who? Poor righteous man. So it's showing you when you're seeing people being victimized, chances are they fall in line of the poor righteous. Either they poor or they righteous, or they both. Either way it go, those are the ones who are being victimized. You can see that brother had, and then even the brother Stephen Jackson said he just sent him some clothes. With me, he just sent him some clothes. In other words, he probably didn't have much clothes. Where was all them crazy people that love him then? You mean to tell me y'all didn't? It's a lot of things coming out, family. And what I'm going to tell you right now, I can see coming down the pipeline. Y'all could probably see it too. As they're going to put his girlfriend, Miss Molly, on a apologetic media tour. Trying to tie in how he was such a good, godly man, and we should just stop all of this and no hate. It shouldn't be divide. It should be coming together. Vote. And he was a godly man, and God is all of love. Trying to use this white image, girlfriend, to taint not only the true foundations of our Father's word, because our Father definitely is of hate. He definitely hates the wicked man and the unrighteous and their works. And use her to be the direct voice of the brother. But I'll guarantee his family ain't gonna let it go. I pray his family don't let it go happen. I pray his family don't allow themselves to be overwhelmed with their own needs or whatever. That every time they come on film, that they say what need to be said, life for life, and that when Miss Molly get to going on with this little apologetic tour or do her little books or whatever she tries to do to make profit off our brother George, it makes no dime. She gets nowhere, because while he was fussing and wrestling and tussling, she was not touched. And that's probably why he was also harassed, because he was with her. We only seen the store owner of the grocery store person come forth, but I haven't seen any apologies from the person who called the authorities on this man. Can we hear the phone call? What was the depth of that phone call to make that officer come out in the manner he did? Or maybe there wasn't any depth in the phone call. Maybe that officer was just devilish, wicked. But then he goes to say that one of the officers, a Chinese guy, goes to say to somebody, "Don't do drugs." So let me tell you something, because people from the hood, Everybody in the hood got that one person in the hood that they not too much idea for your eyesight, but they might keep it real with you. They thorough. You know what I'm saying? Like they're very creative. Some people call them the crackheads. That you'll find them on a bike, putting stuff together on a bike that nobody could think of. Even in being addicted to crack, they still creative, right? Everybody got that one person in the community. Suppose, obviously, George Floyd was that kind of guy. The communities was saying it, right? A person that's like known like that and good and end up having a white girlfriend. When you have a white girlfriend, you become a target for other little racist ones to bother you. The movie Get Out was really a ring the alarm for our brothers out here and sisters out here who don't understand the importance of separation. Well, you know what that brother George probably could have came from? He could have came from a place where, well, I ain't gonna get into skin color and all this and the third. It's a good person and love this and the third. But the Most High felt it necessary to give us a command and say, "Thou shalt not take them unto be your daughters, or their sons to be unto your daughters, or take your daughters their sons to be your daughters' men." There's no unrighteousness, no hatred, or nothing applied to that. So the Most High said it. It's good. If I implement and I revoice it, it doesn't become automatically hate or racism. If I teach my children to not look and seek relations with them, we understand it's a humanity thing, and I appreciate. And I'm not racist. I appreciate different people of diverse cultures speaking out for us. But what I want you all to understand is that you owe us that, and it's about darn time and get on that front line, because our brothers and sisters was front line down there in y'all wars. So I'm not saying it in a way like Nanny, I don't appreciate it, but honestly, I thank you, and it's a sincere thank you. But don't you think it would have been rightfully? I mean, it's right. We owe it. Y'all owe us this. Don't you think we deserve that? And they do, and that's why they're doing it. And all praise to the Father for those, because as I've seen cops riding through New York, running people over, unfortunately, majority of that crowd was Caucasian. I'm looking at it, Scott. Notice the view of that incident was far, which still shows you majority of Caucasians. But whenever it's us, they're up close and personal in your face with it. Look at the screens when you're watching the news and how they make sure that it's like spread, it's like zoomed in for you to see our afflictions and our wrongdoings. But when they're doing wicked, it's pulled back. They're playing. It's like, come on, really? Back to Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2. Talking about, therefore, let us lie. Oh, no. I think I skipped some. Verse 11. Let our strength be the law of justice. Oh, Wisdom of Solomon just snitched on y'all. Chapter 2. Verse. What was that at? Verse 11. Let's go back to verse 10. Let us oppress the poor righteous man. Let us not spare the widow, nor reverence the ancient gray hairs of the aged. Let our strength, hear that, and the powers of the wicked shall be broken, and the strength of the wicked shall be broken. Okay, so let our strength be the law. So let the laws of the most high, of the wicked be broken. Let the laws of the mischievous, cunning one be broken. So if their laws are broken, you're going to have chaos. When the people realized the day that George Floyd was dead, that's why his death was so important. That day he died, that execution, that video of all the other ones brought forth some fruit. And you know what that fruit brought forth? It let us know how broken the law system is here. And now that people don't no longer believe in it, you're going to get chaos. Then you want to try to quiet them down so they can be ready and amped up, dressed and decorated for your little funny little politician June 2nd or 9th, whatever day they talking about. And the Most High said, I'm going to show that your laws are broken. So in Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, verse 11, they're stating the ungodly who don't want to respect our laws want to say, let our laws be the strength. So they basically, let's just throw the Torah out. Do you understand the depth of how important it is to keep the Torah? You see how it all boils down to the Torah after all? Let our strength be the law of justice, for that which is feeble is found to be nothing wrong. Therefore, let us lie in wait for the righteous. Now they done made it more specific. They didn't just say poor righteous, but now they're saying we want all the righteous. I don't care if you are a CNN reporter. I don't care if you go to Morehouse or Spelman. I don't care if you are Oprah Winfrey. What am I going to do? I'm going to oppress the righteous. Now, those people I named weren't particularly examples of righteousness. But this we're seeing now from high, low, in between. They just said we won't reference the aged, feeble, or none of them. They don't care. If you're brown, bottom line, you better believe. They're automatically saying that you're righteous. So I'm going to oppress you. How are you right? Because somebody came and redeemed you. Who redeemed you? Your big brother. And who is the big brother? The living law, the living strength, the living word. I'm going to highlight that, family. Boy, I'm telling you. They're showing us in Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, verse 11, how important Torah is. They said, let our law be the law of justice. No, it's not the law of justice, because look around. Hey, beloved, let me call you back in like 3 minutes. All right, thank you. Bye-bye. She likes me to do her daughter's hair right now. She better get them lice eggs out because I ain't got time. Bless her. Okay, so there's somebody's little child that want me to do their daughter's hair. I'm have to go to the father on that first. My eyes is really bothering me. And I'm having a good time in these scriptures to the point where I kind of forgot about my eye. So verse 12. It's saying, therefore, let us lie in wait for the righteous. So when you see cops coming through our communities, what are they doing? Lying and waiting. When they are having, what do you call these? What's the word for it? Like, say, court proceedings and all these things. What are they doing? Lying and waiting. When we were in our own communities, minding our business, and came up with business on Black Wall Street, what did they do? And I've been knew that, just FYI. I've been knew these devils, like from when I was in the hood. When I'm talking about lying and wait. When I was in the hood, I would see how the cops would ride through with the cop car stuff. I used to tell my, I'm like, yo, they like alligators, man. Like, you know how the alligators like hope they snap their eyes out the water. I said, that's just what they remind me of. I said, I'm calling them gators. So that was our code in the hood. When they would pull through, we'd be like, gators out here, gators out here. They wouldn't know. They know darn well ain't no gators out here. Eventually they figured it out. So that's another reason why they allowed black men on the paddy wagon force in the first place. So them little black brothers of ours or sisters could be the ones to know, oh, this is what they saying. Oh, this is what they need. Traitors, Judases. You're nothing but, you're like a league of Judases. If you are black and brown and you are part of that crowd. We're not crying for you like Killer Mike. I'm not crying for you. And I'm not saying that our brother was crying for them. I know he was crying because of the oppression and he's upset as well. He didn't want to have to go there, but he's on somebody else under command. Obviously, the Most High is not his shepherd. He shall obviously want. Oh, yeah. Therefore, verse 12 of Wisdom of Solomon 2, let us lie in wait for the righteous, because he's not for our turn. He is clean. Listen to this. Contrary to our doings, he upbraideth us with our offending the law and objective to infamy, the transgressings of our education. There's even transgression in their education. There's even wickedness in their academics. It said, contrary to our doings, they know they're the devil. They know they are. I got you, Bob. Sometimes I feel like some people be messing up my clientele because I had this one little girl I was doing her hair. I don't know what happened. I guess probably because I told her she was an Israelite. Her mom ain't want her to come in here no more, but she is something locked, not I. I won't be a stumbling block either. CNN and all mainstream media is the enemy of the people. Exactly. That's what you speak of education. See, when it says, clean contrary to our doings, he upbraideth us with our offending the law. What offending what law? The law of the Most High. Notice it said the law. It's supposed to be Torah law up in there. That's what it was supposed to be. Not no the law. It's the law, the only law, the Torah law, everlasting law. That's what that is. Talking about. And the objection to our infamy, the transgressions of our education. Guess what? You can't just become a prosecutor or a DA. You got to be educated to do that. But what is but guess what it said? Transgressions in their education. Their educations were they're educated on transgression, on how to transgress against the chosen ones by their law. If the Most High would have said to us, you can eat everything, just don't touch spiders, they'd have spiders every darn where, family. They would have spiders on little babies' outfit. They just would make sure you wouldn't get. Look what they're doing to the pig. Abba say, don't touch that swine. They find every itch and cranny way to get all the use out of that pig. I said to myself, whichever demon that came up with all the ways you could use pig for these things was anointed by Satan, and they worked overtime only to keep us in sin. I know. We'll take tiny bones of the pig or whatever of the pig and make a brush. Dang. You mean to tell me you couldn't get bamboo stick? Ridiculous. And you know what? Also, what I noticed with CNN, when they had that brother there, notice the first thing he said in this interview was, I don't know, they had us here. It's like they told him to go to the heart of the daggone beast. Now, wait for it. Judgment to you, CNN. Judgment to you, Fox, when you're not being biased. Judgment to all of these. Judgment to this whole, everything in regards to anything against my father. Judgment. Notice it says, he professeth to have the knowledge of the Most High. Who does that? They don't. We are the ones that do that. Not Christian pastors, because they don't have they never say it with the knowledge. They just come to you with a song, skip, hop, and a dance. Who professes to have the knowledge of the Most High? Because the fear of the Most High is the beginning of knowledge. Those who don't fear him don't have the knowledge. So those who profess to have the knowledge of the Most High, and he called himself the child of the Most High. The same thing the Mashiach did. When the Mashiach was a man on the earth, he was an example to us. How you to be the man. You speak with authority and tell them to their face that you are the son of the Most High. Yes. I am a daughter of the Most High. He was made to reprove our thoughts. He is grievous unto us even to behold. For his life is not like other men's. His ways are of another fashion. Who? The children of the Most High. Said, it's even hard, grievous. He said, he is even grievous unto us, even to behold. Of course it is. Y'all hate looking at a black man. Y'all mock us. It is even grievous unto us to even behold. Y'all, that is crazy. So the grievous on them comes from looking at us. But the Most High told you, keep my laws. It's not grievous. So when we begin to look at his law the way the nation saw us, we got how we saw his law from the nations. You're right. And our ways are of another fashion. You're absolutely right. We don't eat certain foods. We will not dress and wear certain things. We will not communicate with certain people. We don't watch certain things. And guess what? We're even specific to let you know when it comes to us ordering. Did you just cut something on our salon? You might need to have to give me a whole new joint if you're gonna go to the deli and put a whole new grater on there for me. Thank you. Now, a person that does something like that, not in a nasty, I'm gonna need you to no. Hi, how you doing? Some way you could possibly give. Now, sometimes majority of us go about it in a nice way. There's some out there that just when they got woke, it's a lot of our people got, and that's a part of the stages. Pray for them to go through. But if you ask somebody in a respectful, nice way, chances are you're going to get what you ask for. And if you're asking it for a righteous cause, I was going to be behind that. He's going to be behind that. Ain't going to make sure you get what you want. Trust me. Just on Shabbat yesterday, there was a few items I wanted to get. And Abba had it where my mother brought some, well, he touched her heart to give me some food from the food bank. And guess what? A lot of things I wanted to get, I wasn't able to go out and get for preparation, whatever, was here on the day of Shabbat. Okay. So we are esteemed of him as counterfeits. Ooh, counterfeits. And yes, you definitely are. Not just counterfeits, but your frauds. And mind you, what made George's life become open to everyone? A counterfeit $20 bill. But their lives is counted as counterfeit. Yet they want to be the counterfeited ones running around here, calling themselves enforcing law on the ones who were supposed to be the law givers and keepers. Let us see if his words be true. Okay, hold on. I think I might have skipped something. Yeah, let's go back to 16. We are esteemed. Yeah, Daddy made chicken from tonight.
I know.
I'm hyped. We are esteemed of him as counterfeits. He abideth. What is that noise up there? Y'all, children. Children. Is that the air conditioner?
What's up? You calling me?
Yeah, there's something going on up there, baby. I think it's the air conditioner. You hear that sound? Sounds like the air conditioner, and yet.
Cooking.
Who's cooking? I wasn't calling you particularly, baby. The kids. I was calling the kids. If you cooking,
That's the game. That's the game.
Oh, okay. All right. Where was we at? Okay, 16. We are esteemed of him as counterfeits. He absteineth from our ways as from filthiness. He pronounceth the end of the just to be blessed, and maketh his boast that the Most High is his Father. This is why they hate you. It's not because you're brown. They said they're lying wait for the righteous, beloved, and the poor of the righteous. Like I said, because some of our woke ones have been waking up petitioning the Father, he has been advocating for us. And because the wicked ones, the ungodly ones know this is all a reasoning because of our prayers, they're going after the poor sleep ones. And even for that, they haven't given account. Quite interesting today. Somebody felt the need, NASA, to go into space. What you going out there for, NASA? You trying to see what in the galaxies or whatever did you do on Earth? What made changes in it? Because you know it cause and effect. You know what you did definitely was part of prophecy. Just want you all to know that. You counterfeits out there. You fake, phony, made in China people. China made y'all. Most High ain't make y'all. He ain't formed y'all. China formed y'all. Verse 17. Let us see if his words be true. In other words, let's provoke them to see if they're Most High called. Let's kill them and see, like somebody left on my comment video yesterday, I was talking about FedEx. They want to say, well, she was stealing off the truck, but you're so safe. No, I'm so definitely not. Press for what you're talking about. And secondly, going to use you as a guinea pig to show the examples of the heart of a racist. And thirdly, this is what they do. They create stupid plots and stories for people that can come up and present to you Hollywood. You should already know they're very good and skillful at and have the capabilities to show you something. It's not what it seems. To pee on your head and tell you it's raining. Talking about, let us see if his words be true, and let us prove what shall happen in the end of them. You can't prove you. Matter of fact, yes, son. What you need, baby? Oh, yes, you are proving what's going to happen to us in the end. The day George Floyd was brutally murdered out of here, through torture, okay, with this demon's knee on his neck, showed us how it was like the last breakage to the justice system. If at this point they try anything else with the law, so they already know it's going to be worse upon worse upon worse, and they're trying to calm things down for their attention to be all on their voting. But Psalms 46 says, hold on, nope, what is it? Psalms 40. But Job, that's what I mean, Job. Thank you, Father. Job 5 says, where's that verse? He taketh the wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of the forward is carried headlong. They meet with darkness in the daytime and grope in the noondays. But he saveth the poor from the sword, their mouth, and from their hand of the mighty. So when they were saying, let us come together, let us do this, that was that same thing over here talking about let us come together in the day with wickedness, darkness. You're of a dark mind, you're of a dark countenance, you're of a dark spirit, while planning in a beautiful day. You can't enjoy the beautiful sun the most like it. You know, I'm gonna tell you something, family. Our Father is so beautiful and gracious. If you want to know who he's like, just look at the nature of a brother or a sister. When you see somebody like saying, oh, they did this to me, they did that to me, and they're saying, you know what, I don't want to, I'm not going to, I forgive them. Let me tell you something, why that can sometimes be the Father, because Abba says he allowed the sun to shine on the good and the evil. I mean, the good and the bad. He gives rain also those, right? He gives good gifts. Notice he gives good gifts. But these devils and everything he's given, they use his gifts, their gifts, for evil.
Shelly.
Let me take this time. No, I said I'm going to call you right back. Yes, beloved, is everything all right? Yeah, because I'm still live. That's why I was going to call you right back. Yeah, because I'm doing a live stream right now. It's okay, love. Okay. All right. Oh, thank you so much, Shelly. All right. See you soon. All right. Bye-bye. Okay. Oh, Father. It's really hot up here. Put the fan on, Hadassah. You over here burning up. About to trip out the chair and carrying on. Burning up. Hold on. I got to stand on my husband's waist just to, okay. Short problems. All right. So they said, you know what I really like? It says where is it? He professed to have knowledge of the most. Okay, where it says like our life is like unclean. Their lives are like unclean. He was made to reprove our thoughts. He was made to reprove our thoughts. You hear that, family? Abba said we were made to reprove them. We were made to be the lawgivers and law keepers and law influencers and law implementers. They weren't. But remember, copycats. Devil wanted to have the same kingdom the Most High had. And he wanted to have a throne. So Most High said, take your little funky self on down there, get on up out of here, and go on down to earth. And it's nothing compared to the Most High's kingdom. You can go have it down there. You ain't having it up in here. He professed to have the knowledge of the Most High, and he called himself to be the child of the Most High. Let me tell you something. Even if you don't tell this to their faces and you begin to do these things and just begin to be separated, do you know their spirits know that about you? And they're like, well, since you want to be righteous now, I'm going to lay wait for you. That's why I couldn't understand when my neighbor downstairs, I was like, Sandy, I respectfully let her know where I stood. I said, sweetheart, we're not going backwards. If you would like to know, there's times I had, spiritual talks with her. And I said, said I'm a little different. I never told her who I was because I felt like some people would come with a presumption of who they think we are. And I'd like to let her know who I am by giving her other ways to show her who I am. Right? So she couldn't have an opinion. And because I did that, she would listen. But when I said I'm going to have to some extent, before things really hit the fan, I pulled away from her and her son. And she was like, I was like, see, I don't know what I did to you. And I'm like, Sandy, we're not going backwards, beloved. Like, in other words, don't pull that victim card on me. I'm not going down that road with you. We had issues before, and I fought with you before. As women, we're going to go forward, and we're going to be able to deal and go on. Okay, I want peace in my joy, in my habitation. Okay, I don't have to particularly like you or agree with you. And I don't have to even say hi to you. But what I ask for you to do is just respect me and where I am. That's all I said to the girl. Verse 17. Now they're saying, let us see if his words be true, and let us prove what shall happen in the end of him. For if the just man be the son of the Most High, he will help him and deliver him from the hands of his enemies. So all that they're doing is they're actually more than we are trying to put us in the hands of our Father. But the Most High was like, no, you don't run me. No, I didn't send for you. No, I am over the times. No. That's what I like about the Most High. No matter what they do, they don't move him. He says, I move you. Now it says here in the word that we were made to reprove his thoughts. Romans 8 says he formed one vessel of righteousness and another vessel for unrighteousness. So if it says that those be calling themselves the sons of the Most High was formed to reprove him, now you see why the Most High said, let us make man in our image. There you understand the image of the Most High. It's not particularly just so much on our color. It's also on our characteristic. It's on ways we act. It's on ways we live. I thank the Father for his precious truth. I really do. Because it makes being different. Where is that? For the just, okay. So they're saying, well, if they are all stuff is true, let us keep killing them to see if he's going to deliver them. What y'all don't understand is that the Most High is not allowing y'all killings and provokings of his word to make him show you his word. He's allowing the waiting of the sealing of his saints to be his all in all. That's why they just say measuring the width thereof of Jerusalem. So Abba's allowing us to be here. It's only for the grace he's providing us to get things right. It's only his grace for those who could be still asleep. And one day they might wake up. But in the midst of this, just like it took you some time to find it, for those who are asleep, for those who people can say they are the 2/3 or whatever, pray for them. Do no longer put your mouth on your brother or sister, because then that also makes you like that one person that went before the judge and was forgiven of many, but yet went back to go oppress and act for something that was owed to you. Or in other words, you don't have to go ask somebody, give me what I'm owed to me. You'll go out with a mindset thinking, I'm the already righteous and you're wicked. But the king is the one that gave you that forgiveness. The king is the one who paid the price. So whom do we all think we are to say, that's the 2/3? And like I said, family, let us pray for those brothers and sisters. Because you may be speaking against the Most High's will for their life. Maybe Abba wanted them to go there and cause some wreck. Ain't nothing. I mean, if we all just stay in the house and keep the rest of the commandments, somebody got to be willing to do some destruction. David wasn't able to build the temple. Solomon had to be stuff. Solomon was the peace era, and David was the run-up shop. But before we got to Solomon, we had to deal with David. David had to tear up shop. It was necessary. So there's some brothers and sisters out here that the Most High may cause to be militant and righteousness. And righteousness, because he said, with you, I will break the nations. We were formed for this, but our breaking the nations and our vengeance from us being used for the vengeance of the Most High is not in their form. It's by continually living in the life of obedience. Then they have no power. Well, it's amazing because I did not think when we go Wisdom of Solomon today, I didn't think we was going to be able to see how, Wisdom of Solomon is tying into what we're dealing with today. I mean, this is the word, family. I've never been like this before. Like in my life, whenever I open the word, I'll never be let down. Like you can always read about something that's going on with your now, or something you can relate to, or something that's going to tell you about down the road, or maybe just something to help somebody else. But just try to see the Most High. He's good. Open his word up. Talking about, let us see if his words be true. So they're trying to see if the Most High is true. in his word. But the Most High said that over here, where was I at? Psalms 46. Was I reading? Or was that somewhere else? He said, I will be exalted in the earth. I will be. Might be in Job 5. Or is it Psalms 46? Oh, Psalms 46. Or is it Psalm? Is it Wisdom of Solomon? Oh, Job, rather. Shit, yeah, it's got to be Job 5. He said, I shall be exalted. Let me see what's going on in the chat. CNN, okay, yes. John Johnston, welcome and shalom to you. It's good versus evil. That's right. Satanism against all that is good. Super elite, deep state against the world. It is not black against white. Okay, you're right. It's not. That's not what the big picture of the war is. But if we're reading in Wisdom of Solomon, there's a group of people stating, let us. It's not people here who are particularly giving us their nationality. You're right. It says the ungodly. But see, not all ungodly are doing this. Not all people who don't, like, not our people who are not keeping the commandments. They're not coming together to be not law keepers, to be law keepers of destruction of others. Like, they're not going out their way to destroy other nations. Actually, they're destroying us. Our own is destroying us. So with that particular understanding, I can say, yes, it is. And my husband's been saying it as well. He said it might be a class war, right? Following after a race war. But what I'm trying to say here is what we're understanding at this point is that even though there's some Caucasians who are speaking against the inhumanity of what's going on, if they understood according to the word that they all have to be dealt with and righteously judged, and that's all going to be done to them, then let's see how much they're willing to speak up then. Because when the Israelites were out in the corners telling them they're going in captivities, it wasn't too many white people standing on the side saying, yes, I really agree. Like, now there's been some that says this word is true. I'm seeing he's reading it and it does say that. So let me jump on the bandwagon. That some people come to that realization because they realize they can't, there's no way around it. But to those who allow their hearts to say, you know what, these people are treated wrong. I'm tired of it. These people are the chosen people. They deserve to be loved and helped. And if it means my life being taken, I'm going to do it. I can deal with you. And those who are speaking out against the wickedness, do that. Speak out against it. But just understand, John Johnston, that it wasn't every single brown-skinned person that was a slave. It was the chosen people of the word of the Most High who were slaves. Because if it was really a black and white thing, African nations would be standing up for us, but they're not. Arabians would be on the streets getting shot down, but they're not. So I only come to one conclusion, and all praise to my Father's word, which is truth, that let me know, according to Deuteronomy 28, and all through his word, it explains to me why my people are oppressed. So I understand now. It was his word that showed me why we're in the predicament that we're in. I'm not saying I don't agree with you to the point of saying I hate white people. No, I have white friends. I just had a girl just called me to say, hey, you come by, you know, she wants to do her daughter hair or whatever. I'm not, when I talked to Shelly, the same day I did that video about our brother George, the same day I filmed this video with y'all, or not filmed, but I put that video up. Meanwhile, she called me, was like, oh my gosh, did you see what just happened? She was upset as well. Because there's some people that may be Caucasian. If they respond to this the way we're responding, they're showing themselves to be human. Because they're seeing that's not right, and they're speaking up. They have a conscience. Those kind of people have a soul. We can deal with them. But the person who had his knee on his neck, that's not a normal person. That's a demon. And if you read Wisdom of Solomon, which was taken out of our Bibles, you'll see that. You'll see the mindset of the ones who were all behind this. Think about it. If it wasn't really a black and white thing, what spirit came upon those vessels that came out there amongst our rioting? Oh, no, excuse me. What spirits of riot came amongst our protests to make it look like a riot? It was Caucasians who were running out the targets with blankets and other things. That doesn't mean the whole Caucasian race can be blamed. There's some bad ones in their race as well. in their nation. But this ain't a good or evil. This is a righteousness and an unrighteousness. And remember, beloveds, when you read in Matthew 24, it says in the last days, there shall be kingdom against kingdom, nation against nation. So whatever nation you fall under, if your nation submits to the kingdom of darkness, then you are on your enemy. If your nation has been called unto the Most High to keep these all such as commandments, you know what time it is. And he said that in the last days, that strangers and all the other nations shall cling unto us. So if you're looking for a way out of it and you're tired, you're saying this is immoral, this is wicked, these systems and these laws have failed us as a people, whether white, black, or Indian. What you got to understand is when you come on this side and defend us and fighting, if you're going to join with us, we're protesting. Keep a Shabbat with us. Keep these commandments with us. Tell your other people in your communities in a peaceful, whatever manner you can, who we are and what time it is. Because guess what? Your salvation is going to rely on the very people that the world hates right now. It's going to fall on that. It really is. There is no salvation for the heathens unless they come through his people. And if they come through his people, they have to be broken a contrite heart, as well as his brothers and sisters. His children who are supposed to be the ones to reform, to reprove his thoughts. I would say we were formed to reprove your thoughts, you devils. Before you even come up with our wicked action, your thoughts, but he said the thoughts of foolishness is sin. Verse 18, for if the just man be the son of the Most High, he will help him and deliver him from the hand of his enemies. Let us examine him with despitefulness and torture, that we may know his meekness and prove his patience. Family, did you hear that? Let us examine him with despitefulness. Well, he had a ticket in 2013, and it says that he had suffered with unpaid child support, and she had no record, but show pictures of her when she's going to the club. Do that. Show her in that tight dress. Do that. Don't show her to be a modest, covered up woman so that even her creator can see her like that. We're going to examine you with deceitfulness, which means as we're looking at you and we're examining situations concerning you, we're going to be deceitful. We're going to lie, because that's what liars do. Where was I at? Verse 18. Okay. Let's examine him with despitefulness and torture. Oh, you're in the cop's office or whatever they call them places, the department's office. And come out for questioning. We just want to question you real quick. We're not going to, we'll release you once you're done. All right. Come on down there. Like the 48 hours you see. Come on. Come on. Your brother told us that you did it. Come on. Tell us you did. That's torturing someone. Just like the Central Park 5 when them brothers were young, had not their parents beside them, nor any legal representation, and did not even read them their rights. Oh, what you call that? Mirandize them, Miranda rights. Who is Miranda anyway? I need to get to the bottom of that. Put that on a note for later. When it comes to going to court for these issues, they'll torture you. There's nothing but that's all. I think that's the language of the devil. He loves torture. And so does the Most High. The Most High believes in torturing. What do you think he did with Cain? Had him on the earth. What do you think he's doing with Edom? He's torturing Edom. He's literally torturing Edom. Look around. For if the just man be the son of the Most High, he will help him and deliver him from the hands of his enemies. Let us examine him with despitefulness and torture, that we may know his meekness and prove his patience. So when they're doing these things, it's like they're trying to prove to see how patient you are. Because remember, he says over here in Revelations 14, here's the patience and here is the patience of the saints, they that keep his commandments. Revelations 14:12. Here is the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of Ahia and the faith of Yeshua. So if they're keeping the commandments, they're not going to allow you to provoke them to jump out and act in your character. That's why I said, Father, last night I prayed. And I feel like when I prayed that prayer last night, my rising up prayer and my rising was so ready. It was like sometimes you could really prepare you command your next day by praying as you go to sleep. Because I said, Father, I don't want that virus from our oppressors or any of their characters, which is like their dad, to come upon me. I don't want to have any ways of them, Father. I don't want to be like the ones chanting, give us Barabbas. I'd rather say, I have no other king but Yeshua. Okay. Talking about, let us examine him with spitefulness and torture, that we may know his meekness and torture. Know his meekness, which means we may know that you are meek. Also, I said, the meek shall inherit. Or notice it says meekness. They don't believe we're meek yet. Because we're still talking. We're still fighting. Remember, the Mashiach said not a mumbling word to his oppressors when they was taught him in his last hours. Ridiculing him, mocking him, laughing at him, spitting on him. He went meek on him. Oh, but he ain't going to be meek when he come back. Let us condemn him with a shameful death. For by his own saying he shall be respected. So if you don't care about death, then you don't really need to be amongst us who are just living in our portion, because this is the portion for those. This is all we got. So since you bragging about your afterlife, why you want to be here anyway? That's like what they were saying when they say go back to Africa. Anyway, go to your paradise. Go to your, but you can't go there. Why? Because we done went all over there and damaged everything over there too. We're doing the best we can to just make sure we get. And I'm so grateful to see the African leaders are standing against these devils and knowing to realize what time it is. Against the Vaccination Act, forbid anything else come down the daggone pipeline. Well, won't leave me alone when I'm on this, when I'm doing this. See, I notice when I'm not doing nothing, when I'm playing checkers or with the kids or doing dishes or laundry, watering my flowers, nobody don't text me. As soon as I come on here, all forms of texts come through the phone. I ain't got time for that. Let us condemn them with a shameful death. What's an example of shameful death? I'd say hanging, castration, taking each limb and tying them to a horse, hanging them on a tree, burn them at a stake, putting knees and necks, shooting up houses of people that are asleep, choking somebody, slaying them on the ground, slinging them around the way. And there may be some things that may not get media attention like it's being handled, but you better know there's some crazy brothers out here that they may not make it known that they're going to do something, but the Most High put some freaks in the earth. Freaks. He did. Well, he put the freaks in the earth. The Most High put everything good on the earth, but the Most High allowed spirits of freakism to get upon some vessels to do what need to be done. Okay, you know what I mean? So the Most High realizes that these devils out here have come together, have made these plans, have done all they could do to try to keep his, because after all, it's going to come to see how patient and how meek you are. So they're being used from the left-hand side of the Most High just so that we can show Abba if we're really patient and meek. Because it says the meek shall inherit the earth. We just read out of Revelations chapter 14, verse 12. Here is the patience of the saints. They want to talk about St. Paul or St. Minnesota, St. whatever. There's clues all up in this stuff going on. Okay, I thought it was a distraction. That was okay. Oh, wow. All praises. Okay. All right. Thank you for that. Thank you for them things you just sent me. I appreciate that, brother. Where was we at, family? Let me see what's going on in the chat real quick. Okay, it's not okay. Yeah, how you used to. Whoa. I gotta laugh. Oh, just heard that comment. You said you don't deserve to be speaking what you do disgusting. Oh, go figure. You go check your other videos, likes and dislikes with that biz. Oh, you said, turns out you are not as good as you thought. You are misled like the devil likes to do. Oh, John Johnston. First of all, I had to laugh because that's a temper tantrum Timmy. Temper tantrum Timmy, because I had to reprove your thoughts, such as is even written in Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2. This is what I was formed to do. I wasn't formed, Edom, to make you feel comfortable, to make your life easy. I wasn't formed so that you could be a master. You were actually supposed to be a servant. But see, this is what happens when servants think they know something. They come speaking out their mouth and talking disgusting like this. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this off my stream. I don't want anyone else looking at this kind of disgusting stuff here. Don't you worry, your sister's not a bit moved. She's just laughing. I simply am, because this is sad. This is sad because he thought this was a stage where he could come on here and get the popular public's opinion. No. From my father, I will seek unto Ishi-Elohim my cause. Job 5. We just was reading that today. I will seek unto Ishi-Elohim will I commit my cause. My cause of why I'm doing what I'm doing is for the cause of righteousness. My cause is for my people to come back to him, to their strength, because their strength is their laws. And if their laws are evil and wicked against us, obviously don't know justice for us. It's only justice for them. So that should tell you you're not going to get no justice out of their justice system. And just give them crickets like you would do with their voting system. It took us a while for a lot of our people to come to realize that voting things is no good for us. How much more is it going to take us to realize they're not just realize, but make action on it? Stop calling cops. Stop voting and all this other stuff. Cardi B telling my son, this is what we need to do. We need to be voting for these people because it's these people. Everyone who speaks about how ways you could fix this system to bring it back to what it was, or to make this system normal, you're not a part of the government that's coming. That's all I'm telling you. You're not a part of it because you want this thing to stand, and it's not going to stand. See, that's the problem. Once I tell somebody they're going into captivity, because I saw this one on Edomite's channel, he said, it's wrong. If you listen to a lot of them that try to speak up, if you sit them all down, it was majority of the ones who was out there, and you sit them down and try to talk to them, have an interview with them, you know what they came out there for. Because if you're really against evil and all this other stuff, like he said he was, John Johnston, then when I brought to you scripture to talk about how about you going into captivity, if you disagree with me, then why would you not question me on what I was saying? You said go back to all your videos and likes and dislikes. You think I care because you was a person who gave me a good old-fashioned dislike? Thanks. You gave me something, baby. Thanks. I don't really care. Scripture is what it is. And I was watching this video the other day with an Edomite. He said, hey, he said to me in a video, because people kept saying, you don't understand. He said, you're right. I don't understand. He said, and I will never understand. I'll never be in your shoes. He said, I said, sorry, buddy, but you gonna be in these shoes. And you gonna be in these shoes, whether you like it or not. Because that's what the word of the Most High says. But guess what? Them ones, it's gonna be even more of a shock for them. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2, tell as many people as you can to read it. And it will let everybody else who's out here protesting. If you can get a chance to read to anybody that's willing to lend you an ear, bust Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2 to them for you, to them. All right. Let us condemn him with a shameful death, for by his own saying he shall be respected. Such things they did imagine and were deceived, for their own wickedness hath blinded them. This can go to both parties. Let's say it's Edom. Such things did they imagine and were deceived, for their own wickedness had blinded them. I'm sorry. This has to go to Edom right here as I read it again. Because up here, you can see how they're talking nothing about planning wickedness. It's all wickedness. So when you read Obadiah, it says that pride has deceived thine own heart. So the wickedness is of their pride, is of their deception. They tried to go out their way to make sure they kept us in deception by not knowing who we were. But y'all very well are still deceived. And you're going to die deceived. And you're going to wake up in that judgment getting the reward of the deceived. As for the mysteries of Ahiah, they knew him not. They knew them not. Neither hope they for the wages of righteousness, for the wages of righteousness, not the wages of bondage, not the stimulus, not the reparations. And I'm not speaking against it, like, oh, you don't care about what our ancestors went through. I've had all kinds of different numbers of money. And I'm going to tell you right now, it don't matter if it's $5 or 500. It goes out my hand the same. It really don't matter. After you get done spending that money, you're going to come right back to the realization that my ancestors still did what they did, and they still get reaping from our ancestors. So if they give you a one-time check and fire you, are you going to be able to continually pay your bills while they took the business from you? And then told you the only way you can survive is if you let me steal your business and give you one-time check, put you on unemployment for your business. And you want to keep begging them for a percentage of increase on your benefits. When all you got to do is just get your business back. That's what I'm talking about, family. Notice what we're talking about: righteousness, righteousness, righteousness. We are seeking the wages of righteousness. We know that everything we do, we're not going to see here. It's not going to be given to us here. It's going to be given to us in the place. He said, I go to prepare a place for you. Okay. So I was telling people on as many videos I could today that are saying this our city, this our city, our city. No, our city is built with a man with no, it's built by a city with no, built not with man's hands. Our city is a New Jerusalem. For Ahiah created man to be immortal and made him to be an image of his own eternity. Nevertheless, through envy of the devil came death into the world, and they that do hold of his side do find it. If he would have stood on a little longer, he would have got this. And they that do hold on his side do find it. So those who are on the side of the devil, he's right. It is against evil and wickedness. However, prophecies are still applying to nations. If I'm say I'm a sister talking with a Caucasian male, and we're discussing what the issues are that's going on this time, and you want to come to me with 50% of it, and I give you 155%, you cannot be mad at me. Although someone of those other nations may take hold of our side, then those prophecies of destruction from those nations don't apply then to them. They're a part of a new nation, obviously. It's a nation thing. It's not a race thing. It's a nation thing. And so with that, I say, family, we're seeking the wages of righteousness, meanwhile working out righteousness. Loving our brothers and sisters. And it's time to pray. And what I did with my family, oh, baby.
You still on there?
I'm about to get off now, babe. I'm about to get off now.
Man, come on, everybody done ate and everything.
Really? Y'all ain't
Come on,
come?
you've been in the only thing for 2 hours.
All right. Well, baby, I was actually really about to get off. So, I was just summarizing. Wow. So, I didn't know it was that long. Well, anywho, family, this is very important that we love each other. What I was trying to say is that my family and I, we all went through the commandments. We said 2 commandments, like one that we want to work on as ourselves more, and one as a family we should work on. And I feel like as a nation, we all as a people need to have a more a serious need to pray and love for those who are not where we are, to love and pray for those out of their mess, because then that very person you pray for who's in that mess, you could be gaining a soul. And there you go. That's wage right there. You're waging war against the principalities upon their life to make sure that they get life everlasting. Not make sure, but do the best you can to present to them life. And hold on to the side of life. Because remember, the Mashiach said, I am life everlasting. He that believeth on me shall not perish. You don't have to be of our color to believe on him. But you got to believe on him as the scriptures have said. And in order to believe on him according to the scriptures have said, there are people that are out here with the gems to help you. We're not racist. We may say some things every now and then that it may not be in your favor, but that's the pride of you that will not allow you to let certain things roll off. If your pride is at a percentage that is so high, you can't let it roll off. Like we don't just let y'all, like how many things would we let roll off? We don't fight y'all and come after y'all every time y'all kill one of ours. So you just, seriously, pick and choose your battles. All right, family. I love y'all so very much. pray for my eye, family. I don't know if I got an eye infection or what, but I know my allergies are a little extra. I think I took a little extra pill that I normally would have supposed to take, and this is the effects thereof. But yeah, I got some allergy eye relief eye drops that you put on your eye, and it kind of coats from like the pollen, but it's obviously ain't doing nothing. So keep me in prayer for me, as I definitely do for you all, and I love you all so very much. Let me go for my ish getting that. Okay, love y'all. Shalom. I love us. Thank you, bye.